Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down the ultimate, complete roadmap to learning artificial intelligence. Now, if there is one single thing you take away today, it's got to be this. Mastering AI is the absolute new baseline for your career in 2026. No matter your industry, no matter your technical background, this is the new normal. Look, we're all standing at this massive crossroads right now when it comes to future-proofing our careers. The question isn't whether you're going to use AI anymore, it's how. Are you going to be an AI power user or an AI builder? That is the big decision you've got to make today. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. First up, we'll look at the AI ecosystem. Second, we'll cover how AI actually works. Then we'll explore your two choices, Path A, the power user, and Path B, the AI builder. And finally, we'll wrap up with the essential rules of the road. All right, Section 1, the AI ecosystem. We're zooming right into the core concepts here. So before we can really master AI, we've got to understand where it actually comes from, right? Let's quickly trace its rapid historical evolution. It actually all started way back in 1950. That's when Alan Turing proposed the famous Turing test to see if machines could, actually think. Jump to 1997 and IBM's Deep Blue defeats world chess champion Garry Kasparov. That was a massive milestone. Fast forward to 2022 and boom, we see the absolute explosion of large language models or LLMs like ChatGPT. And now here in 2026, we are fully in the era of multimodal and agentic AI systems taking center stage. These systems can actually autonomously pursue goals across text, image, and video. It's wild. So what exactly is AI anyway? Simply put, it's technology that enables computers to simulate human learning, problem solving, and autonomy. But hey, here's what you really need to remember for your career right now. Everything we interact with today is considered weak or narrow AI, meaning it's built for specific tasks. We are not, I repeat, not dealing with strong AI or artificial general intelligence just yet. That would be AI that actually equals human intelligence. It really helps to think of the broader AI landscape like a giant set of Russian nesting dolls. Okay, so at the outermost layer, you've got the broad umbrella of artificial intelligence, just simulated human learning. Open that up, and inside you'll find machine learning, which uses algorithms trained to make predictions based on data. Open that doll, and you find deep learning. These are multi-layered neural networks that essentially simulate human brain decisions. And finally, the innermost doll, that's generative AI. These are the deep learning models that create entirely original text, images, and video. Moving on to Section 2, how AI actually works. Let's look at the mechanics behind the magic. Let's completely demystify this magic using a really straightforward framework from IBM. How do these super powerful generative AI models actually operate? Well, it happens in 3 logical steps. Step 1 is training. This is building a foundation model by basically feeding it massive volumes of raw, unstructured data. Step 2 is tuning, where the model is adapted for specific tasks using labeled data or human feedback. And then Step 3 is generation, where the AI actually produces outputs for you. Now, what's absolutely crucial to understand here is RAG. That stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. This allows the AI to pull in external, real-time data so its answers are actually accurate and grounded. Believe me, that's what keeps you from presenting embarrassing AI hallucinations to your boss. All right, Section 3, Path A, the power user. No code required, immediate application. Now, what's really interesting about this is that moving forward, you essentially have 2 distinct career choices, exactly as outlined by Syracuse University. On the left side, we have Path A, the power user. Now, this requires absolutely zero coding, none. It focuses entirely on integrating AI directly into your daily workflow, and your time to value is literally measured in days. On the right side, though, we have Path B, the AI builder. This one is highly technical. It involves actually building AI systems using Python, and the time to value here is measured in months, not days. So if you decide to choose the power user path, you absolutely must achieve fluency across the big 3 models. First, make OpenAI's ChatGPT your default starting point for reasoning and complex multi-step tasks. It's great for that. But need careful instructions followed or maybe some really long-form content written? Then you'll want to turn to Anthropic's Claude. And for seamless Google Workspace integration or tackling multimodal tasks, Google's Gemini is definitely your go-to. The trick is to master these 3 core platforms first before you even think about adding specialized tools. But hey, the crucial point here is knowing how to effectively talk to these models, and that brings us to the ultimate cheat code for power users, the prompt design framework. It breaks down into 5 actionable parts. First is role, who the AI is acting as. Second is context, the background of your situation.
Third is task, what exactly you need it to do. Fourth is constraints, the specific limitations like, say, a word count. And finally, format, how the output should actually be presented to you.
Let's actually look at this framework in action. Look, if you can brief a smart intern, you can direct an AI. Here's a perfect example. You are a marketing strategist. Okay, that's the role. Launching a B2B product, there's your context. Write 3 subject lines. That's the task. Keep under 10 words. Those are your constraints. Return as a list, and that is the format. By structuring your requests exactly like this, you will multiply your daily output and just completely avoid the frustration of getting bad AI responses. It's a real game changer.
Okay, moving on to Section 4, Path B, the AI Builder, technical depth and long-term career leverage. Now, for those of you ready to transition into data science and actually build the systems of tomorrow, Python is non-negotiable. It basically acts as the universal translator for data science through a few essential libraries that we call the Python arsenal. Think of pandas as your heavy-duty data cleaner. NumPy steps in to handle massive multidimensional matrices. Scikit-learn is your core engine for traditional machine learning. And when you need advanced deep learning, TensorFlow or Keras are going to be your go-to tools.
But the builder path definitely requires more than just Python. You've got to master the broader modern AI stack. It all rests on underlying math, linear algebra, calculus, and basic statistics. From there, you'll use Hugging Face, which is essentially the GitHub of AI for open-source models. Then there's LangChain, an incredibly powerful framework for building autonomous agents. And finally, PyTorch, the leading deep learning framework for production. Mastering this whole stack is the secret to creating those highly sought-after agentic AI systems we talked about earlier.
So why go through all this rigorous technical training? Well, as the Data Science Council of America points out, Python's versatility is driving massive innovation across every major industry. In fintech and transportation, Python is driving predictive risk models, fraud prevention, and real-time transit routing. Meanwhile, over in healthcare and travel, it ensures highly secure medical data analysis and powers AI recommender systems that actually personalize our trips. The long-term career leverage for builders right now is honestly just staggering.
Finally, Section 5, Rules of the Road, Ethics, Risks, and Avoiding Tutorial Hell.
Now, whether you decide to be a user or a builder, you really have to understand the boundaries. Beware the magic wand fallacy. Far too many people expect AI to do 100% of the work for them. But the reality is the 80-20 rule. AI does a fantastic job generating 80% of the draft, but the human, that's you, must always provide the final 20%. That means the polish, the context, and your critical human judgment.
Which leads us nicely to the critical AI pitfalls you must actively avoid. First up, ignoring bias. Remember, AI models just reflect their training data, meaning they can sometimes output flawed or skewed human perspectives. So you always want to audit your outputs to make sure they're operationally sound. Second is security blindness. Pasting sensitive client or company data into a public AI model is a massive risk. Data sanitation and security are absolutely non-negotiable. And finally, the dreaded tutorial hell. You absolutely cannot learn AI by passively watching videos. You only learn by getting your hands dirty, actively prompting, coding, and building.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this fantastic quote from the Syracuse University iSchool. The best time to start learning AI was 3 years ago. The second best time is this weekend. So I've got to ask, which path are you going to choose? Will you open an LLM right now and practice your prompt design? Or will you install Python and start coding? The roadmap is right in front of you. What small project are you going to start today to change the trajectory of your career?